Music lovers, we are back. Tuesday night, and we are back as usual.
We are back as usual Tuesday night. Great. How are you, Per?
Well, I'm fine, thank you. I'm a little bit in fatigue because of the workload, since we have started to release 2 recordings every week. But
yes, it's
still I'm going
work.
strong. Yes, and you're still in Örebro, aren't you?
I'm still in Örebro. We're having a great time. We have recorded all 3 brass concertos, and we are finishing tomorrow with Schubert overture Der Teufel als Hydraulicus.
Wow.
So then the whole recording is done. So I've been importing files all day today, also all evening. It takes a lot of time.
And those Schubert overtures are quite you don't hear them very often in concerts, do you?
No, these you don't hear. And particularly the one that he wrote when he was 13 years old, the Hydraulicus, the Teufel, it's fantastic. But also Salamanca is a great one, and the Italians, the style in C is more played, so that's quite a common one. But that's to be released later. But we will have the general manager on here. He had a little
Gregor
with his picture, but he'll come on later. But it was also, I called him because we have a problem with this group Kristidorar, or the Fools of Christ. Last release, they didn't want to be in picture. And this time they don't even want to be with us. They promised to, we have a new release in 3 weeks, and they promised to be with us that time, but now they're very shy. So you see them backstage there. They don't even want to show their faces on the covers. So it's
they're a bit like religious rock stars, aren't they?
Yeah, they're building up a myth. I
think so too. Yeah.
But they are very serious in what they do, and it's like this guy Lars, the second Ulstadius. He's taking his name from a man who actually was a fool of Christ. He lived in Old Åbo and was killed there. I think he died there. And the other one,
in Finland.
Okay. Yeah, in Finland. And the other one, Senja, the woman, she lived for 30 years on the streets in St. Petersburg, giving away all her belongings. And they sing these. So let's hear Blott and Da. That's their second.
Yes.
Of that album. It's beautiful.
Because whatever we say about them, how mysterious they might be and incognito and so on, they are fantastic singers and musicians. Just hear this.
Blott en dag, ett ögonblick i sänder. Vilken tröst var den som kommer på. Allt ju vilar i min faders händer. Skulle jag som barn med längsla stå. Han som för mig en faders.
Yeah, and Anki is playing the bass. That's very nice. And they are one is an atheist and one is a agnostic. So it's really different.
What was the term? A forced agnostic, or what was the thing about Lars?
No, forced atheist.
Yeah. Oh.
was a priest.
That sounds complicated.
Yeah, it sounds very complicated. But they are devoted to these psalms, and some of them are so beautiful. We have one from Sven-Erik Beck coming up in a couple of weeks for a release, but releasing on Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
And while we play the third verse, let's bring Gregor Subicki on. The Swedish
Let's bring the guy on and see if he got his technical stuff ready.
Att vila tryggt och stilla blott vid dina löften, Herre kär. Och att ej den dyra tröst förspilla som i ordet mig förvara där. Hjälp mig, Herre, att vara den mig.
This kind of music is a surprise to you, isn't it? We have a release by something called Kristi Dårar, Fools of Christ, and they are both incognito. So you see them there on the screen. They don't want to show their faces. One of them is Anki Swan, and you heard her, and it's like no one knows who she is, but you heard her in another piece the other day, didn't you? Anki Swan, yes.
Oh yeah. Yes. Oh yes, I did.
Yes, that's her.
An amazing performance.
Yeah, and they are of course incogniti. They want to stay anonymous, and what they did here is fantastic. They're singing to the two of them went to the school of Adolf Fredrik, and they were the only ones who had the highest mark in music. So their voices are really fantastic. But Gregor, welcome. I want to welcome you because you are the CEO of the Swedish Chamber Orchestra. We are working this week with Pacho. Tell us a little bit about your orchestra first.
Well, I mean, it's obviously an amazing orchestra since I'm the manager. As I always tell the orchestra, what a wonderful administration you have. And I think it's important that an orchestra appreciates the administration. No, I mean, to be serious, the Swedish Chamber Orchestra has existed for about 25 years now. And I've been privileged to have this job for 24 of those years. And it's been a lot of fun. The orchestra is doing very well, and we're still enjoying life and having a lot of fun with this week's project.
Yeah, you have. I mean, you've been 4 times in Kennedy.
In Kennedy Center, yes.
Kennedy Center. You've been to Musikverein many times, also to
proms,
the other proms and everything. So it's really it's fantastic. And we had Pacho this week, Pacho Flores.
What an amazing guy.
Yeah, Pacho Flores.
Yeah, no, really, no, it's been, and you know, I mean, we had the first concert where we were allowed to have a real audience.
Yeah,
and it was so much fun to be able to present a concert with so much energy, because when we've been playing with these smaller ensembles, it's nice and so forth, but you know, energy's been missing, and I think we got a lot of energy done this week.
Yes, and we're soon. It's only like one and a half Schubert overture left to do tomorrow, so we've done very well. The orchestra is amazing. I mean, it's great to have.
Sure are.
Yeah.
But also, I must say, if we're going to be positive about each other, and I think we should, also the way, I mean, you know, there's so many aspects to being a conductor and leading, but one really important aspect that's not often stressed enough is time management. How to use the time you have, and how to have the whole time when you're working, you have to have an idea of where you're going and how much time is left and how to use that time effectively. And this is, you know, something that means a lot to an orchestra. They feel that their time is being used well, and you do this very, very well.
And one thing I actually noticed when sitting there looking at the score and listening to the headphones was that we were 10 minutes, you know, ahead of time. We were actually finished, Christian. But one of the musicians said, "Could we maybe do once more? Because I wasn't really satisfied with my performance." I mean, that would be quite, you know, unusual. One of the musicians.
That's very special with this orchestra. They all they all engage in it. And particularly today, we had the bassoon and the clarinet, and they said, Maestro, we have one little thing. Do you think we can do it? Because and I said, well, we can do it, but I'm sure we have it because I can combine them. And I said, okay, I trust you. I said, and then I decided we'll do it tomorrow anyway, just for safety.
Yeah.
Gentlemen. Yeah, you should really meet our next guests,
Yes.
Gregor and Kristin. We have Linn, Persson, and Kristin coming on just a short while, because we're releasing not only Kristi Dårar, but we're releasing Matthew Petersons fantastic music again, as we did earlier this year.
We have a saxophone festival going on here.
Yeah.
So play the beautiful piece there, and then bring them on. Bravo, Linn, bravo, Kristin. Welcome to the show. I think now listening in my earphones that cost actually €1,600. I have this fantastic sound. I am so amazed by the sound, and I know I saw the email that correspondence you had about this and placing it a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, and little bits louder there and there. And Per did a fantastic job. And then at the end, you said, yes, we have it. Wonderful. So how are you?
Fine.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
Really?
We've been looking forward to, thank you. We've been looking forward to this release for a long time. So we're very excited today.
Really?
Yeah. And you have a friend here. Did you ever meet Gregor?
No,
never.
Yeah. Hi, Gregor.
Two phenomenal saxophone players. We're having a saxophone festival here with saxophone music every week. Actually, we're releasing, so that's great.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and
I'm so glad that Matthew wrote this little, but in some way huge piece for us. And you know why he wrote it?
No.
Well,
No.
actually, I just asked Matthew for lunch. We had a lunch together, and I asked him, hey, Matthew, Linn and me, we're going on a tour with another Swedish chamber orchestra, Musica Vitae, playing a really nice version of Bach's D-moll concerto, G minor for 2 violins, but of course not on violin, on 2 soprano saxophones, with beautiful intermezzos by Marie Samuelsen, another great Swedish composer. And we needed an encore because we thought maybe the audience want to hear another piece. And I asked Matthew, because I heard his Smooth, Fast and Nasty. He wrote for Linn just half a year before, and I liked it so much. So I asked,
which is also being released on European Gramophone this fall. Yeah.
And Matthew, you said, of course, I'll write an encore. And he did. And we're so happy.
Great. Sorry, Kristin, let's bring the guy on. I mean, because he's here.
So where is he? Here he is.
He's right here.
Matthew,
we're talking,
welcome,
everybody.
Welcome.
Great
So Gregor, we're having a real contemporary sort of club here.
I feel very privileged to be part of this.
Yes,
you should.
No, that was great. We're showing. Gregor wasn't going to be on first, and then I just thought, because we have had such a fantastic week here with the Swedish Chamber Orchestra, I asked him actually today, would you mind coming with us? And we're so honored that you came, and we talked about it. It was great. So you have you met Matthew Peterson before?
No, I haven't.
Ah,
I haven't.
okay.
My ignorance is huge,
No,
but it's being completed.
But we
No.
met last Monday, the BBC Örebro, right?
That's true. I was really impressed that they came all the way here.
Yeah.
They're
Linn, I
local
was going to
office.
ask you, Linn. I mean, when we recorded this this session, what is the main task? What's the hardest thing in this music to perform? Really, is there something, or could you tell us something about just recording this music, performing it, so on?
I think that it sounds so simple. It's very sensitive in many ways because you're only two saxes and you can't really hide behind anything. And it's important to get the timings right, to get the intonation right, to get the sound right, and the perfection of every single aspect of it is the most difficult part. And to do that and still have this freedom and just flowing feeling that you're supposed to have, I guess that's the hardest thing, to make it as beautiful as it can sound in every aspect.
Yeah, and we recorded it in a very, very nice venue. I think it worked well, that venue, the Dubo Church.
Exactly, with the wooden ceiling, and it's a very nice small church as well. But I think that the way that you placed the microphones worked excellently, and it was a great venue to play in because you could actually blow properly and just enjoy the sound in there.
Actually, your recording was the first one where we used 16 microphones.
Okay.
This week we're using 32, so we're expanding all the time here.
I've divided into how many musicians. We use a lot more microphones on you guys. Matthew, why on earth do you write music like this? How did you find your way into this kind of music?
Well, yeah, it's a little jewel of a piece, and I was writing for two musicians who are important to me, and I was, Linn and Kristin, they play so beautifully. The saxophone is such a vocal instrument, and so I wanted to write them something beautiful, and so I composed it around a single line. It's just one melody, and it's broken apart in hockets between the instruments, and they're playing in harmony, just kind of floating. Sometimes the one instrument's on top, and then they switch parts. So it's sort of a graceful piece played very beautifully by the saxophonists.
And the title, VINGAR VIRVLAR.
That's right. Yeah.
What is it? Yeah.
Well, wings and vortices.
Yeah,
I guess I was thinking about, if you know anything about migrating birds, they will sort of drift on one another. One will lead and then the other will lead. And that sort of tail race, they're just sort of hovering around one another. That was my inspiration, were birds in flight. I think that's very appropriate for the saxophone as a soaring vocal instrument.
So using wings on them was okay in the picture there.
Absolutely. I think they should perform the piece in wings now. They're inspired. We've been discussing costuming and.
I didn't know that it was
inspired. Oh God! Who is coming
thing.
now? Who is coming on now? Oh, what is going on?
Sorry?
iPhone. Is someone coming on?
No, I don't think so.
iPhone, it says here.
Yeah, I have an iPhone, so it's okay.
You have an iPhone, okay.
No,
there's someone. No, it's Jack in the box.
Of course, it's me. I'm on my way to Australia, so I'm here at the airport, so I don't have much time. But I'm just tired of seeing the same old faces in your lousy show.
That's
you got some fresh faces. Oh, look at that! That's Matthew. We actually we have this Matthew.
But Gregor is here. We brought someone in, Gregor.
Gregor is here too.
You're old-fashioned.
Nice. So when are you going to bring in some fresh people? I just wonder.
So
anyway, I'm leaving for Australia now because I've heard I'm into church music. I wonder if you can see the church behind me there. So I just had a concert and now I'm going for Australia to get some more chorales. So I guess I see you next week when I'm back.
Well, thank you, Mr. Jack in the box.
Yeah, wonderful. Have a nice time in Australia. But you don't have any insults for us or this week?
Didn't I insult the whole show? I think I did just.
Okay.
What time is it?
You're being nicer and nicer.
If I haven't insulted anyone, I'll do it now.
That's Brahms.
Go
That's
sod
Brahms.
off, every one of you, and I see
Is
you
there
next week.
Is there a solar eclipse in Australia? What's going on?
Yes, it's the midnight sun. They moved it to Australia.
Thank you, Jack.
Okay,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Jack.
You can
Thanks,
send
Jack.
us the bill.
I'll send you the bill. I've already done that.
Yeah, sure. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so yeah, Gregor, you haven't seen the show, but he is constantly, breaking our firewall and
well, fortunately, they're going to be putting him into long quarantine in Australia. So,
Yes.
so hopefully he won't be able to do any damage there.
So
Yeah.
Gregor, while you're here, I want to know your schedule ahead. What is going on now? It's opening up. So you are touring as much as you used to do. What is happening? Tell us about the Swedish Chamber Orchestra.
Well, I mean,
What's
touring
going
is
on?
hopefully picking up. I mean, the whole touring market is going to be interesting to see how that develops in general, because there's been a lot of feeling that all orchestras can't be touring all the time, that kind of thing. But no, I mean, the next couple of weeks, we're actually going to be making another CD with Martin Frest, who's our music director, with music by Mozart. And then we're sort of busy with concerts until Christmas. After Christmas, we have a European tour, Germany and Hungary and Slovenia. And then a little bit later in the spring, a Spanish tour. So that's touring. And I'm actually meeting with the Proms in November, and hopefully we'll get some dates there too. But we'll have to see how things pick up. Audiences everywhere. I mean, there's a lot of interest and a lot of anticipation, but at the same time we have to rebuild confidence, I think.
Yeah.
And the whole concept of subscription series, which has been under some pressure for some time, there's a chance to make a restart. There's a chance to think maybe in a different way, but it's going to take a lot of work.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, today I got a Japanese tour in December canceled.
Yeah.
Which you are actually happy with, Matthew, because that means we can do the thing in December that you wanted to do.
Now we got the
What do you think, Linn?
message.
Perfect.
Yes.
I will book a venue for that, Kristin.
Oh, great. Fantastic.
Yeah, we can all put it in our diaries, all the
Yeah,
players.
those of you in Stockholm are referring to the big release party for the European gramophone saxophone album. So
yes. That would be great.
But I mean, one of the things we're realizing is that even if Corona is in a sense over at home, it's still not over, as you're saying, when you're traveling to other countries. And I mean, people from the States can't come here right now and so forth. So international travel is still under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it is.
I just spoke to my friend on Hawaii and said, over in Sweden, restrictions are gone. Oh my, we just started this, masks, and it will continue for years and years.
And Taiwan, where I was sitting in quarantine, and they were totally free of COVID. They now have it because they didn't vaccinate.
No, so in Australia, Australia has put themselves into a kind of a prison, so that it's difficult to know. It'll take years before we have a sort of idea of this really. But in the meantime, all we can say is that we can be happy and grateful at home that we can actually now start playing for people again. And let's just be happy for that.
Yeah.
Linn, what's up with the Stockholm Saxophone Quartet? You're starting to give concerts again.
Yes, we started a couple of weeks ago, and we're doing our own chamber series as well, where we in Western Stockholm. So we're starting that up and preparing for a fun autumn. Hopefully, we're looking forward to that, but it is difficult to foresee the future, especially in spring. It's difficult to have contact with venues and with people arranging concerts in general, because we don't really know what timeline we have. Usually, we did the bookings a couple of 1 year ahead, and now suddenly we have to make bookings with a much smaller deadline. So. We'll see what happens, but we are very much looking forward to the autumn and are rehearsing every week, almost every day.
Hey, Kristin, you're going to England. You seem to be very busy. Yeah.
I will go to England, but that just like an audience actually.
Yeah.
So I'll not play by myself this time. I'm hopefully I will do some orchestral pieces, the Romeo and Julia and the Ravel's Bolero.
Oh yeah.
In after New Year, and hopefully it will be cancelled as it was last time with the orchestra. So
we really want to hear those virvlar, or what it is.
Yes.
This what comes up now is, I remember when we recorded this, we sat there, we were so impressed, Per and I were over how it's set together. This is real virtuosic saxophone playing. Listen to this.
And Maestro Peterson is a decent composer. Listen to this.
Yes. That's fantastic what you do there. Bravo, bravo, bravo.
Mr. Peterson, do you like get offended by the word decent composer? Do you get the kind of,
Well,
is that a thing you get as an English speaking guy, or you want to punch me in the face?
I don't know. I think,
No,
I mean, honestly, Per,
Yeah.
I don't really care what you think.
That's good.
Because it was meant as a compliment, he's a. But when we started playing, I think it's a typical northern Swedish thing to say. Yeah, he's a good guy, and then you really mean that he's a great guy. It's a very well written piece.
Yes, fantastic.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it pre-released as usual, or is it? Can you find if it's out?
Maestro.
Yes.
Don't you check our European
No. You
Facebook page
check for
every
us.
2 minutes? I don't have to check because I posted the link.
It's out on
Yeah,
250 platforms
and more
around the world.
Streaming. It's
go-
streaming as hell.
Go stream. Fantastic.
Yeah, because we are releasing albums on Wednesday, but sometimes Spotify, they are a little bit sloppy and they slide things away
in
a bit
earlier.
early. Yeah.
So this is very good news for us.
Yeah, so it's out there, and you can explore this fantastic music. Just do it.
Yeah. And then the Kristin are on Saturday.
So time is running up, dear friends.
Thank you everyone for participating. Thank you, Gregor, for being here. We are next year, when we release those things, we're gonna have some great party here with some people in this show. I look
There are
forward to
drinks and snacks in the green room.
So, bye.
Take care.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.